Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning. Welcome to Up with KREM. It is 6 a.m. now. Happy Wednesday. I'm Nicole Hernandez.
And I'm Tim Pham. Yeah, thanks for joining us here on this Wednesday morning, halfway through the work week. And it's going to be quite windy today, and that means some fire danger. It's why we're calling for a weather impact alert. So Thomas has the timing on this. Thomas, when will things really start to pick up?
Yeah, I think the earliest it'll start to pick up is around the noon hour today. You might notice a bit of a lighter breeze outside this morning, but those winds will steadily increase and accelerate through about the noon hour today. And once we get into the afternoon, that's when those fire danger conditions will be heightened quite a bit. So that's why we have red flag warnings. That represents the critical levels of fire danger. Plus now we're in the late stages of the summer season. So it is all that much more important to respect burn bans and don't cause any fires in the first place, because the weather conditions can certainly take those flames, spread them very, very quickly. So that's why we are pretty much on guard and want to make sure that everybody stays cautious for today. And what is going to be another hot day ahead of us, temperatures are still at around 70 degrees, 71 for our low temperature right now in Spokane, which is incredibly warm even for the season, up to about 93 for today. So hot, dry, and windy, hence the heightened fire danger.
All right, let's take you live now out to the roads. I-90 in Havana right now. You can see traffic flows moving great in both directions, not experiencing any issues at this hour. We are crash free. We'll keep you updated here on the traffic situation, let you know if there's any slowdowns on our roadways so you get where you're going on time. On Up with KREM, we do check in on weather and traffic together every 30 minutes. 6:02 happening right now in North Idaho. The Panhandle Health District conducting contact tracing to find out who could have been exposed to measles. And this is actually the first confirmed case of measles in more than 30 years in North Idaho.
The Panhandle Health District said an unvaccinated child in Kootenai County tested positive. Just a week ago, the city of Coeur d'Alene found measles in their wastewater. Panhandle Health says the MMR vaccine is highly effective, and getting 2 doses as a kid could protect a child for life. But Idaho has a lot of people opt their kids out of the vaccine. The state has the highest rate of immunization exemptions for kindergartners.
So we're at 78% of kids have documented immunity, that have the documented 2 doses. That's really low. That's lower than any other state.
If you've been exposed to measles, you could start seeing symptoms between 7 and 14 days. That could be anything from a fever and a cough to red eye and a rash. Here in Spokane, the Spokane Regional Health Clinic is doing a free vaccination clinic today. They will have routine childhood vaccines for kids 6 months old to 18 years old. They will also have some adult vaccinations for people who don't have insurance. If you want to go, it starts at 10 o'clock this morning at the Salvation Army on Indiana.
Washington State is testing a new device for cars that actually tells drivers when they've had too much to drink. Each of the cars has breath testers built in. Before someone can drive, they have to be cleared. Infrared lights analyze the breath to determine if someone is over the legal limit for alcohol. If they are, the driver will not be able to drive.
To have the vehicle be the thing that says, oh, nope, you can't drive me today, right now, because you've had too much to drink. How could we not want that for our communities?
The state currently has 3 vehicles with the alcohol detection system. The devices could be an option for new cars as soon as 2028.
3 local road construction projects had to shut down operations because local Union 302 is officially on strike. As of right now, there are 3 WashDOT projects in our area that are paused. The paving projects near Pullman on US 195 and in Chewelah on 395, and the river crossing work they're doing on the North Spokane corridor. Spokane County says if the operator strike continues for more than 2 weeks, other road projects may be impacted. The Idaho Transportation Department said they are also addressing potential impacts the strike could cause on their projects. KREM 2 visited the union office for more information, but union leaders did not comment.
Although summer is coming to an end here in just a few weeks, state fire officials say we still have a few more months left of wildfire season.
KREM 2's Christian Garza joins us live this morning to share why this is actually the most dangerous time of year when it comes to wildfires in our area. Christian?
Well, fire officials say that this stretch of time between now and the end of fire season is actually the most dangerous part of fire season for two specific reasons, and that's high winds, like we're starting to see kind of today with this critical fire danger day of the week, as well as hot and dry temperatures. And the Washington State Department of Natural Resources says this year its response to fires has been prompt thanks in part to an accurate prediction of an above average fire season last year. As of today, DNR says across the state over 60,000 acres have burned so far, with over 40,000 of those acres coming from eastern Washington. Ryan Rodruck, the communications manager for Eastern Washington DNR, says thanks to adequate staffing and resources, crews have been able to respond quickly to the different fires that popped up across the state. But he wants to emphasize that we are not out of the woods just yet.
Until we see that season-ending precipitation event, we need to exercise as much personal responsibility as possible to help keep those fires off the landscape. The weather obviously has been very hot. This week we're moving into the most critical fire danger of the week today. And so really our request is that caution is the word of the day.
Roderick says this year they have over 120 engines available to help extinguish any fires that pop up, as well as over 11 DNR-owned aircrafts and contracted aircrafts around the state. Now, Roderick says those aircrafts have helped bring down well over 1 million gallons of water so far this summer. Now, like we mentioned earlier, with today being the most critical fire danger day of the week, Roderick urges the community to follow state and local burn ban jurisdiction restrictions. In Spokane, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Thank you for that, Christian. And that is the number one thing, and I will reiterate that as well. Respect those burn bans, especially on a day like today. Sun is up, burning bright in the eastern skies right now, and we are in for still another fairly hot day of weather. With temperatures getting into the mid-90s for the first 2 days this week, I think today we will be very close as well. So as we switch over to the weather graphics, you will see that the high temperatures today are again at about 93, 94 degrees for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and still in the mid-90s and above for central Washington. So still plenty hot out there, but now we add the wind into the equation, and that's what elevates the fire danger to critical levels. Remember, late summer season, late August and early September can oftentimes be the worst time for fire season, so make sure to be extra cautious on a day like today.
After years of failed legislation, an Idaho Republican is taking matters into his own hands to eliminate the grocery sales tax in Idaho.
He's trying to get enough signatures to get the issue on voters' ballots. Abby Wilt with our Boise sister station spoke with the organizer, who says the grocery tax is becoming unsustainable for Idahoans.
This is not a party issue at all. This is a citizen's issue.
When Howard Reinerson goes into the grocery store, he says he doesn't want to see another 6% tacked onto his grocery store bill.
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to repeal the grocery tax and along with that, the grocery tax credit.
He's working to gather just over 70,000 people to sign a petition, a part of the initiative process to get something on the ballot to leave it up to the voters.
And it dawned on us that you can use that for a good purpose.
If passed, the sales tax would remain for alcohol and tobacco in places like a hot bar at a grocery store with grab-and-go food.
You know, it's going to save you 6% every time you go to the grocery store.
It would also eliminate the current grocery tax credit, which was increased from $120 to $155 per person per year in this year's legislative session.
It's important that individuals have the ability to purchase food without having to pay additional taxes on that.
Reinerson says even with that stipend at the end of the year, it's still not enough to make up for paying 6% of tax on each grocery run throughout the year.
Maybe of those people that are at the top of the list, like a mom and dad, 2 people, you're going to get that $155 per person. That means $310 coming back in the tax credit. You're going to spend more than that.
The Mountain State Policy Center conducted a poll in 2024 asking voters what they thought about this. 87% of the responses said they were in favor of eliminating sales tax, but legislators are not in agreement. The Idaho Attorney General awarded a Coeur d'Alene police person with a Medal of Honor for acts of heroism. Yesterday, Sergeant Taylor Beach was one of 4 officers to receive the medal. She saved a wounded officer back in 2018. The state's Attorney General credited the 4 officers for helping make Idaho safer.